Hey everybody, today I'm going to be showing you how super quick and easy it is to install SuperATV's heavy-duty tie rods on this Can-AM Maverick Trail. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and remove the front wheels and tires. Then we're going to go ahead and disconnect our tie rod from the steering arm on the knuckle. Once we've disconnected the tie rod end from the steering arm on the knuckle, we're going to go in here to the inner portion of the boot where it's secured to the rack, and we're going to cut the zip tie. Once we've done that, we're going to grab a hold of our boot, pull it down over top of the tie rod, and then we're going to go ahead and turn the steering wheel to the driver's side. That way it makes it easier for us to get to the inner ball and socket. Then we're going to take a big pair of channel locks and go ahead and remove the inner ball and socket. A lot of times once you get it loose, you can just grab it and spin it by hand. And we'll set our factory tie rod aside, and then we're going to go ahead and grab the provided inner ball and socket that's going to come in your heavy duty tie rod kit from SuperATV. And before we install it, we're going to take some blue Loctite and apply it to the threads, just like that. And we'll go ahead and we'll thread it into the rack and pinion. We'll thread it in there as tight as we can by hand. And we're going to grab our channel locks here. And you want to get that as tight as you can. Then we're going to go ahead and grab our boot. We're working on the passenger side, so we're going to have the smaller in diameter boot here. We're just going to slide this right up and over the inner ball and socket. Slide it past the threads, and we'll just want to wiggle it onto the rack and pinion. You just want to make sure you get it fully seated. Once you have it fully seated, you're going to grab the provided zip ties. We'll just slide them all the way back. You're going to get that zip tie as tight as you can, and then go ahead and cut off the excess of the zip tie. And we'll put a zip tie out here on the outer portion of the boot as well. Cut off the excess. Then we're going to want to grab our jam nut, the one that's right-hand thread, because you'll have a left-handed thread one and a right hand. So make sure you grab the right-hand thread, and you want to thread this jam nut all the way up as far as it'll go in the threads. Then we're going to grab our tie rod, and if you look at the tie rod, this portion here that's textured is more towards this side. This is going to be the outside. This side's going to be left-handed thread. This side will be right-handed thread. The right-handed thread side needs to go to the inner ball and socket. So we'll go ahead and run this up here. Then we're going to grab our heavy-duty tie rod end. This will be left-handed thread. We'll just thread our jam nut all the way up the threads, just as we did on the inner ball and socket. Then we'll go ahead and thread the tie rod end into the tie rod, something just about like that. Then we're going to go over here and we're going to straighten our wheel out. We're going to get it so it's as straight as it can be. And once we have it straight, we're just going to adjust our tie rod to where it'll just fit in here perfectly. We're going to have to go through and set the toe. So we're going to go ahead and grab our bushings for our tie rod end. Slide one in on the top, one in on the bottom. It lines up right there, but now we just want to look at our rotor and get it so it's pretty straight. Looks like we need to come this way, so we're going to go ahead, thread these tie rods in right about there. Then we're going to grab the provided tie rod end bolt as well as nylock nut. We'll go ahead and put our bolt through. Start our nut on the bottom side. We'll want to go ahead and fully tighten the hardware there. We just want to make sure that we fully tighten the hardware here for the tie rod end. And then we'll take the provided cotter pin and go ahead and install it into the bolt. Once we have our cotter pin installed, our hardware is tightened. We want to make sure our jam nuts are still loose. And then we're going to repeat all these steps for the opposite side. Once we've done that, we're going to reinstall our wheels and tires, sit the machine down on the ground, and start setting the toe. All right, so now that we got the machine sat back down on the ground, we have Alex here to help us. We're going to be setting the toe. The first thing we're going to do is roll the machine back and forth about 5 times to get the suspension settled. So we'll go ahead and do that now. All right, now that we have the machine rolled out and the suspension settled, we're going to go inside. We're going to get our wheel straight. I like to go back and forth a couple times just to ensure it's as straight as it can be. Then we're going to grab a tape measure and we're going to go from the center line on the front of the tires, and then we're going to go back to the back side and do the same thing. So we're going to have Alex hold our tape measure right here on the center line. It looks like we're at 43 even in the front. So now we're going to slide around to the back side. Looks like we are right at 43 in the rear as well. So we're all good to go. We're gonna go ahead and set our jam nuts to make sure that our tie rods are tight here. The awesome thing about SuperATV's tie rods, if you did have to make a toe adjustment, they're double adjustable. So with both of the jam nuts loose, you just have to grab a hold of the tie rod and spin it either way to toe in or toe out. And that's how super quick and easy it is to install SuperATV's heavy-duty tie rods on this Can-AM Maverick Trail 1000. For more information on these tie rods or any of SuperATV's great products, feel free to give us a call at 855-743-3427 or check us out online at superatv.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.